We are going to hear from some folks in the audience. We take calls now via Discord at davidpakman.com/Discord. It's great to hear what is on people's minds. Why don't we start today with Chris from Texas? Chris from Texas, what's going on?
Hey, David, this is Chris from Texas. How are you doing? I mean, never mind about that. I
I'm
guess
doing
one
well,
thing I'm
thank you.
wondering. I guess one thing I'm wondering is that, like, with Biden, I'm. I know some people are wanting Bernie to run again, but I don't agree with that because of the fact that, like, I love Bernie with all my heart, but I feel that with Bernie, after losing twice, I think it's just going to make him look bad, and I think it'll hurt the progressive movement overall for him to run again, just because it'll make us look as if we are not willing to cooperate with the Democrats.
I don't think it's about cooperation at all, but I agree with you. I think that as a combination of Bernie's failed runs so far, as well as Bernie's age, some people might be furious with me, but I think the window of opportunity for Bernie has closed. First and foremost, if Joe Biden runs again, Bernie's not going to beat him in a primary, so that already makes us look at 2028. And
Yeah,
I just don't see it. I think it's unrealistic. If somebody wants to change my mind, you can try, but I just don't see it.
yeah. Guess I'm just also worried also about the future as well. Like, with Biden's approval ratings going down, I kind of want him to do other things, like maybe do another UBI, and potentially also doing something like along the lines of like maybe being more forgiving on the student loan debt. Because I
Wait a
think,
second, hold on. When you say do another UBI, do you mean a COVID stimulus check?
I mean, that's probably on my least worries, but I feel like I'd be more willing for him to do something along the lines of like maybe extending student loan forgiveness, or
Oh,
maybe maybe at least for canceling off at least $10,000 of student loan debt.
yeah, I have to tell you, I agree with those things. I want him to do those things. I never believed that those were things Joe Biden was going to do when he was running, and he seems to have no interest in doing them. I just don't think he's going to do them. Now, should we pressure? Of course. I mean, this is what activism is for, but I don't think he ever had any interest in doing those things. But I think the point we're maybe kind of converging on is the left needs some kind of the progressive left needs a charismatic leader within the Democratic Party. I don't think it's Bernie. Is it AOC? I don't know. I think it's too early to say, but I do
I
think that
feel
a
like
charismatic leader is needed in the progressive left.
I do feel like AOC would be a good candidate, but I feel like one problem that she has is that she's only been her highest level of state of being elected is only the House of Representatives. I feel like she would either need to at least maybe challenge someone like what's her name again, Gillibrand,
Hmm.
or Hochul for a state level position.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean that there will be time to look at that, but it sounds like you and I are mostly on the same page.
One last question I have though too. I guess considering I'm kind of a little scared about the Republicans potentially getting back the Senate in House in 2022,
Yeah.
why isn't Joe Biden or any of the Democrats with their power right now try to admit DC and Puerto Rico as states, and so we can at least give us some way of a buffer from preventing the Republicans from gaining more seats?
Again, I love the idea. Joe Biden doesn't seem interested. It just doesn't seem a priority. Now remember, DC would almost certainly be two Democratic senators. Puerto Rico is a little bit more of a question mark. Puerto Rico is more conservative than some people think. On balance, it would still be great for the Democratic Party, but Biden just doesn't seem interested in that.
Yeah, but we would get at least around 7 seats in in Congress at least.
That sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. I would love to see it. I think they should be states. I don't believe it will happen before 2024.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the call, David.
All right, my
Nice talking with
pleasure.
you again.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate hearing from you. Good questions, specific good questions. One of our sponsors is Blinkist, who's been supporting the David Pakman Show longer than any other sponsor. Blinkist is the app that lets you listen to or read an entire nonfiction book in just 15 minutes. Blinkist is the way to absorb those books you can't make time for. Blinkist takes top nonfiction titles, pulls out the book's key takeaways and insights, and gives it to you in the form of a text or audio explainer that you can consume in 15 minutes. With Blinkist, now you actually do have time to learn about all the things you've been wanting to tackle. On the Blinkist app, I just listened to This Is Your Mind on Plants by the great Michael Pollan. Super interesting, the history of caffeine and so many other things. Blinkist has you covered on podcasts too. Blinkist takes long episodes of popular podcasts and distills them into audio you can listen to in 15 minutes. With Blinkist, you can become knowledgeable about so many different things. You can have conversations with people about more topics. Blinkist makes you more well-rounded. Try Blinkist for free and get 25% off a subscription. Go to Blinkist.com/Pacman. The link is down below.